Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And for this video, I'm going to be ranking all of the Black Ops 2 weapons, excluding the ray gun, the ray gun Mark II, the Blunder Guy, and any of like the wonder weapons. But I'm going to be ranking these for a mixture between my opinion and for how good the weapon actually is. And I understand this video is really outdated. But I just want to upload this to share my opinion, and hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Alright, coming in at the worst weapon in Black Ops 2, hands down, there shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, but of course, it's the War Machine. This thing is so trash. It literally does like no damage. I mean, yeah, the explosives are an impact when you upgrade it, but unupgraded, you can't control this wherever the grenades go. They just go whatever the hell they want to go. But yeah, let's move on to the next weapon. There isn't much else to say about the War Machine other than it's literally like the worst weapon ever. But yeah, coming into our next spot it's the ballistic knife. I mean, this thing, we're going to be looking at the solo version of it because the co-op version isn't actually that bad. But on solo, the only good thing about it is like on round 1 through 4, it's a one-hit knife and it's good for points, but that's literally all it's good for. It will not kill zombies like at all when you get in like later rounds, like 15 or 20 or something like that. But yeah, it really isn't a good weapon to use at all. So in our next spot, we have the SMR. I mean, come on now, this gun is so bad. Like, unupgraded, the iron sights are off. You shoot a bullet and that thing will go wherever the hell it wants to go. It doesn't matter where you shoot. It could go in. It can go behind you for all you know. But when you upgrade it, it still is garbage. Just literally hardly even gets an upgrade. The only thing it really gets is more ammo. It really doesn't get much more damage. But like, I really don't know why you'd use this. Whenever I get it out of the box, I just want to die. Like, I can't stand looking at that weapon. It's so bad. I don't know who would like that weapon, but let's get into the next spot, and this next spot will be the Cap 40. I mean, this thing, it literally is just so bad as well. Like, it only is good for points. It runs out of ammo way too quickly. Like, I don't know who uses this in the later rounds. It literally can hardly kill any zombies when you get like to the 20s. I would only use it for points. I don't know what else you'd use it for. Honestly, you just get it out of the box, get some points, and then just trade it right back in. Nobody wants to have it. But coming into our next spot will be the Chicom or Chicom. I don't really know how to say it. But this weapon, it runs out of ammo so damn fast, and it's such a weak weapon. Unupgraded, it's a 3-round burst. Upgraded to 4-round burst. It really just doesn't make a difference. I honestly don't really know what to say about this weapon other than it runs out of ammo way too quickly. Its fire rate is way too fast. And yeah, let's get on to the next weapon. There isn't really much else to say about that weapon other than it really isn't much better than the other weapons on this list so far. But yeah, the next weapon will be the RPG. And I don't understand how the hell you could have 8 rockets when it's upgraded in one clip or whatever the hell like the rocket, like it has 1 rocket. How the hell can you shoot 8 at a time? That doesn't even make any sense. This thing is also pretty damn weak. It doesn't have a whole lot of ammo. Your mobility with it is pretty slow as well. It really just isn't a great weapon to have, honestly. It just really, I don't know why you would use it. It's not really good for anything other than killing yourself. Yeah, this weapon all in all really isn't that good, so let's move on to the next weapon. The B23R. I mean, this thing, it really shouldn't be priced at 1,000 points. Like, honestly, or that's a little too much. Because it's it's not really that good of a weapon. It really is kind of trash. When you upgrade it, it becomes full auto, which it runs out of ammo really quickly. It doesn't really have good damage. I feel like it is still better than the other weapons on this list, though. But let's move on to the next weapon. There isn't much else to say about the B23R other than it's like an okay weapon, I guess. But yeah, the next weapon will be the FAL. I mean, unupgraded, this thing really isn't special. It has an okay amount of ammo, but when you upgrade it, it really doesn't get much better. It becomes a 3-round burst, which I don't know who wants a burst weapon in zombies. Like, burst weapons just really aren't, like, suited for zombies. And this FAL, I feel like, is just weak. It just really can't kill many zombies. But, yeah, I don't know who uses this weapon. But let's move on to the next weapon. And the next weapon will be... So the next weapon will be the S12. I mean, this shotgun isn't amazing by any means, but if it either had like more damage, more ammo, or maybe a mixture of both, I feel like this weapon would be great. But like, it literally only has, I think, like 50 shots when it's upgraded, which really isn't a whole lot. I mean, the damage is okay on it, but I mean, it all around, it's an weapon. It really isn't good. But it also isn't trash. But let's move on to the next weapon, and the next weapon will be the Barrett. I mean, unupgraded, this thing really has way too much recoil. Like it is so like bad. The recoil, literally, you shoot one bullet and your scope is like pointed straight up in the sky. And this thing hardly has any ammo. When you upgrade it, it really hardly gets any ammo. I mean, upgraded is pretty strong, but since it hardly has any ammo, it really just isn't a good weapon to have. And plus, it's a sniper. Snipers are kind of hard to use in zombies sometimes. But yeah, let's move on to the next weapon, and the next weapon will be the 5.7. I mean, this thing, unupgraded, it's pretty decent. Has a pretty decent amount of ammo. When you upgrade this thing, it actually gets a lot of damage. It has a lot of ammo. I don't really know what else to say about it, because it's just a pistol after all. But it just has good damage, has a good amount of ammo for a pistol, and yeah, pretty good weapon. And our next weapon on the list is going to be the M8A1. I mean, it's a burst weapon, so it really isn't suited for zombies. I don't really know what it's good for. I mean, it has a decent amount of ammo. It is pretty strong, but I really wouldn't recommend using it. I mean, I feel like it's better than the rest of the weapons on this list. But yeah, moving on to our next weapon. Our next weapon will be the Type 25. Unupgraded, this thing has so much damn recoil. It's so hard to control this thing when it's unupgraded. But upgraded, it actually has, like, I think almost no recoil, if I'm not mistaken. And it is pretty strong, but it runs out of ammo so fast. Honestly, it's an all-around okay weapon, but I feel like how fast it shoots kind of makes it just lose ammo way too quickly. And let's move on to our next weapon. Now we're starting to get into the weapons that actually can kill zombies in the later rounds. And our next... Hey, future me here. I don't know why I said kill zombies in the later rounds. What I really meant was like weapons that are actually like good, instead of weapons that really nobody cares for, and just weapons that are like trash in general. So yeah, these next weapons are gonna be like the weapons that are actually useful. So yeah. Weapon is going to be the MTAR. Unupgraded, this thing honestly is a pretty decent weapon, but it has a lot of recoil. But when you upgrade this thing, just like the Type 25, it gets, I think, no recoil, if I'm not mistaken. It actually has a decent amount of ammo, has a decent amount of damage all around. It's a pretty good weapon. And our next weapon is going to be the M16. Unupgraded, this thing is kind of terrible. Like, for it being a burst weapon, like all the other burst weapons on this list so far, like the M8A1 and the FAL, burst weapons really aren't meant for zombies. However, when you upgrade this thing, it actually becomes full auto, and it actually is pretty decent. And it's also a really unique weapon, because it has a noob tube on it. I don't really know any other weapons that have a noob tube attachment on them. But yeah, this weapon is all around pretty solid, and our next weapon is going to be the M1216. I mean, unupgraded, this thing really isn't special at all. It really is kind of just a shitty weapon, and a lot of people, like, don't actually upgrade this weapon because they think it's kind of bad. But when you upgrade this thing, it actually is pretty damn strong. I mean, the only downside to it is just its lack of ammo. It really doesn't have like much ammo at all. But yeah, if it had more ammo, it would honestly be a solid weapon. But since it has hardly any ammo, it really just that draws it back so much. But yeah, let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, our next weapon is going to be the M14. I know that this may seem like to be a shock to some people maybe, but unupgraded, this thing is kind of dog shit. Because obviously it's supposed to just be a starting wall weapon, it's obviously not supposed to be that good. We're going to upgrade this thing to the Amnesia, I'm pretty sure. It actually is really good. It has a lot of ammo too. It's a pretty solid weapon. Honestly, it's just, I don't really know what else to say about this weapon other than it's pretty solid, has a good amount of ammo, good damage, and plus it's a wall weapon, so there you go. You got infinite ammo. And yeah, so let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, and our next weapon is going to be the AK-74U. This weapon unupgraded is so like bad because its ammo is so low. I find myself running out of ammo so fast with this thing. Once you upgrade that with double tap and speed cola, it actually is pretty good. Has a pretty good clip size. And I think it has a pretty good amount of ammo in reserve. I don't exactly know how much ammo it has, but it is pretty solid. And the only reason it's up at this spot is because it's a wall weapon, which means you get unlimited ammo. So that's one good thing about the weapon, because it doesn't have that much ammo, but since it's a wall weapon, it actually is very good. And let's move on to our next weapon. And our next weapon is going to be the Dual Wield 5.7. I think a lot of people underrate this weapon because the unupgraded version isn't really that good, but when you upgrade this thing, it actually is a beast. Like, it has so much ammo, it's very, very strong. And all in all, it's same with the normal 5.7, they're both just pistols. There's not really many, like, special thing about them. I don't really know what else to say about them other than they're really solid weapons. So yeah, let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, so our next weapon up on the list is going to be the MP5. Now, this weapon isn't really strong, but its upgraded version is actually pretty good. Just the only downside to this thing is that it really doesn't have much ammo when it's even upgraded. But since it's a wall weapon, that is one thing that makes a lot of wall weapons like just higher up on lists, because they're wall weapons. You get unlimited ammo, so it's just like they're so much better than like box weapons. So yeah, there's not much else to say about this weapon. It's really solid. You can get off the wall, and yeah. So let's move on to our next weapon. So the next weapon is going to be the MP40. And I don't know who doesn't play Origins that doesn't go and buy the MP40. It is such an iconic weapon to Origins, and every time I play that map, I always buy that weapon. I just don't know who doesn't buy it. It's such a solid weapon. It's just perfect for that map. It's just on the early round, it's good for killing zombies, gets a lot of points. It can kill the Panzer pretty well on round 8, but yeah, pretty solid weapon. And let's move on to the next weapon. Okay, our next weapon is going to be the Uzi. And just like the MP40, every time I play Mob of the Dead, I always get this weapon. I don't know who doesn't buy it, but I wish this gun was actually on other maps. I know it probably wouldn't fit other maps, but like, it's kind of sucks that this is the only map it's on. But yeah, anyway, this weapon is actually solid for points. When you upgrade it to the Uncle Gal, it's actually pretty solid of a weapon. Like, it can kill zombies. For it being a point weapon, it actually can kill zombies pretty good on the higher rounds. But yeah, this gun's solid. And let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, the next weapon is going to be the PDW. This thing is a solid weapon. Actually, it has like a lot of ammo for an SMG. It's a wall weapon too, which is fantastic. It doesn't have a good amount of damage, but since it's a wall weapon and has a lot of ammo, that makes up for its damage. So yeah, let's move on to our next weapon. So our next weapon is going to be the M1927, or also known as the Tommy gun. And this thing is such a good weapon. I don't know who doesn't go down to the docks and Mob of the Dead and buys this weapon. It's such a solid point weapon. It has so much ammo. Its freaking magazine size is 50, which is like huge for an SMG, and this thing is actually pretty strong. Like, I didn't think it was actually gonna be like as strong as it is in the clip, but it actually like killed Brutus and killed the zombies pretty damn quick. But anyway, this weapon, you can also get unlimited ammo because it's on the wall. But yeah, let's move on to the next weapon. So the next weapon is going to be the RPD. This thing has a lot of ammo, and it actually has pretty good damage. Its unupgraded version has a lot of recoil, but when you upgrade that thing, I think it has a pretty low recoil, I'm pretty sure. But it has low mobility because it's an LMG, but all around, it's a pretty good LMG. I mean, its reload is pretty slow, but its damage and ammo will make up for that reload. Let's move on to the next weapon. So our next weapon is going to be the hammer. And I don't think it's much different from the RPD. Like, it also has high recoil when it's unupgraded, and then when it becomes upgraded, its recoil, I think it doesn't really have any recoil. I think the only reason it's better than the RPD is because its reload is faster. So this LMG is all around solid weapon. Has low mobility, of course, because it's an LMG, but yeah. Let's move on to the next weapon. So the next weapon up on the list is going to be the Olympia. Obviously, unupgraded version is terrible because it's supposed to be a starting wall weapon, so it really isn't supposed to be that good. Once you upgrade that thing to the Hades, oh my god, dude, that thing is crazy. I don't know exactly how long it's a one-shot for, but that thing is a strong starting weapon when you upgrade it. Plus, it's on the wall, so you just go back and keep getting ammo. Pretty solid weapon. And let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, so the next weapon up on the list is going to be the M27. And this weapon, it's so unfortunate that it's only on Nuketown. Because this weapon is such a solid weapon. Its iron sights are so amazing. It's such a good weapon to use, has high damage, has good ammo. I mean, it's only in the box, not a wall weapon, which is kind of one of the downsides to it as well, as it's only on Nuketown, which is another downside to it. But when you upgrade that thing with double tap, speed cola, ooh, you're golden. So this weapon is pretty solid, but let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, so our next weapon is going to be the Python. Unupgraded, this thing is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's great, but I wouldn't say it's a bad weapon. But when you upgrade this into the Cobra, oh my, this thing gets a huge damage boost. It gets a good amount of ammo as well. This thing could easily carry you into, like, I think mid-20s. Like, this thing is just solid pistol. Has high mobility, which is like one of the best things you could have for a weapon. So yeah, let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, and our next weapon is going to be the Scorpion. Now, this weapon was put into the wrong map. I don't know why this weapon is put into Origins, because it gets outshined by literally like so many weapons, like the staffs, like the Scar H, maybe the MGOA, stuff like that. And you're gonna start seeing a reoccurring theme about a lot of these weapons that are coming up. But yeah, the Scorpion, it shoots very, very fast. Probably one of the fastest firing weapons, I believe, in zombies. And it has a pretty high damage as well. It's a pretty solid weapon, and let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, and our next weapon is going to be the Remington New Model Army. Now, this map is only featured in Buried, which this gun is perfect for that map. And this gun, I know it's basically just a reskin of the Python, but I'm pretty sure the upgraded version is actually stronger. I don't exactly know if it is or not. But yeah, this weapon, there's just something about it that's just so amazing. And yeah, so let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, the next gun up on our list is the DSR. Unupgraded, this thing really isn't that great. But when you get this thing upgraded with iron sights on it, whew, it is amazing. It is such a nice sniper. And it's really just a sniper. It's not really that amazing. Snipers just aren't genuinely good for zombies. But yeah, since it has iron sights on it, it's actually really fun to use. It's pretty easy to use too since it has iron sights. But yeah, let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, and our next gun is the Remington shotgun. And this thing unupgraded is kinda terrible. When you upgrade this thing with double tap and speed cola, this thing shoots so fast. And it has so much, like it has such a high damage too. Like, I don't know why this thing shoots so fast for a pump action. But yeah, this thing is just an amazing shotgun. So let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, so the next gun up on our list is the AK-47. It kind of sucks that this thing is only in Mob of the Dead, but it kind of fits the map pretty well. It's an all-around really good weapon, has good ammo, really good damage. It's just really unfortunate that it got put into Mob of the Dead only. It would have been nice if it was in some other maps, yeah. Let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, the next weapon up is going to be the Galil. The only reason why this weapon beats the AK is because it is on a lot of maps. And I'm pretty sure the Galil is really similar to the AK-47. I'm not entirely sure, but they both have good damage, both good ammo, but it's just the Galil only beats the AK because it's on multiple maps. So yeah, let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, next gun up on our list is going to be the KSG. It sucks that this is only in Origins, and a lot of weapons have been put into Origins that are exclusive to Origins that just, they're so unfortunate that we're put in the map. But like the KSG, I'm pretty sure that it was the first shotgun in all of zombies to do the vaporizing effect, where basically if you kill a zombie with a single shot, the zombie will just get vaporized. And this weapon is all around good. I think it has pretty good ammo, good damage, all around just a really good shotgun. And let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, and then gun next up on our list is going to be the STG. And this gun is also only exclusive to Origins. And this gun is actually a very, very good weapon. It has good ammo, has good damage, and plus it's on the wall, so you can get unlimited ammo. So all in all, this gun is a really solid weapon. And let's move on to our next weapon. Alright, so coming in our next spot is going to be the Ballista. Now, you can buy this off the wall for 500 points in the Origins starting room, and it's only exclusive to Origins as well. However, the unupgraded version is very bad. I think it's only a one-shot to the head at like round 5. But when you upgrade this thing, if you get Deadshot, Double Tap, and Speed Cola, this thing will be literally like a one-shot to the head until the like round 30. This thing is actually like amazing. But since it's a sniper, that's kind of the one thing that makes this weapon just a little bad. It's because of how slow it shoots. But I mean, it's a sniper, so it's supposed to shoot like slower. But yeah, let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, the weapon that's up next is going to be the Scar H. And it's only exclusive to Origins. But you can actually get this weapon for free if you get 115 normal headshots in Origins, and you gotta go to either one of the challenge boxes at like Gen 1 or Gen 6, and you can get it. You either get the Galil or the Scar H, but I feel like the Scar is better than the Galil because I think it has more ammo. I think has higher damage, and plus the Scar H kills the Panzer so fast. Like, it'll kill the Panzer. It'll melt the Panzer like really quickly. But there's still some better weapons than this, and let's move on to the next weapon. Alright, and the next weapon up on our list is going to be the Death Machine. And this is only exclusive to Mob of the Dead, which this gun was put in the wrong map. This map is so close quarter all the time, and this gun has the lowest mobility, I think, on any weapon in zombies, but this weapon has the most ammo I think any weapon has ever had in all of zombies. This weapon is just amazing. But there's still more weapons better than it, and let's move on to the next weapon. And the next weapon up on our list is going to be the MG08. And this gun is only exclusive to Origins, which I feel like this gun is like a little underrated because of the map it is in. But this gun is amazing. You can get it for free by getting the 4 discs around the map with the Maxis drone. And this gun has like 700 bullets, I think, which is a lot of ammo for an LMG. But yeah, this thing is just a solid weapon to use. But our next few weapons are going to be even better than this. Alright, now we're moving into the top 5 weapons. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the Executioner. This thing is a one-shot until round 34. There's not many weapons that can say that are not wonder weapons. And I think this is the best shotgun, pistol, whatever it is. I think it's a pistol that shoots shotgun shells. But yeah, this thing comes in at number 5 for the best BO2 gun. Let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is going to be the LSAT. And you can get this gun off the wall on Buried. An LMG off the wall. That's just crazy to think about. And this thing has a really high damage. It has 700 bullets, which is a lot of bullets. And all around, this is just an amazing weapon. And it takes the number 4 spot. Let's move on to number 3. Coming in at the number 3 spot is going to be the SVU, which is arguably one of the best, or if not the best sniper in all of zombies. This thing has about 200 shots when it's upgraded. It's a semi-automatic sniper, and it's off the wall. So you can just get infinite ammo with this thing, which is amazing. So it comes in at our number 3 spot. Let's move on to our number 2 spot. Coming in at our number 2 spot, which really shouldn't be a surprise, it is the best wall weapon in all of zombies, which is the AN-94. This thing has almost as much ammo as a pack-a-punch LMG. It has so much ammo. I think it has like 650 bullets when it's upgraded. It's off the wall. It's a really cheap weapon off the wall. And in Buried, you can literally put it where you want to have it. In Die Rise, it's in one of the most convenient spots ever. And all in all, this is arguably the best wall weapon in all of zombies. Comes at a number 2. Let's move on to number 1. Now this really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, but coming in at a number 1 spot for the best weapon in all of Black Ops 2 zombies that's not a wonder weapon is Mustang and Sally. The unupgraded version is literally the worst weapon in BO2 zombies. But when you upgrade it, it turns into one of the best, or actually the best weapon in BO2. And it's literally just, I don't know what else to say about it other than it's literally the best. And it's so amazing. I don't know what other weapon can top this. It comes in at number 1 for the best weapon in all of Black Ops 2 zombies. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Comment down below if I missed any weapons. I don't think I did. But yeah, comment down below if you think you disagree with my list. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.